Dr. William Ruto.
As the country prepares to celebrate 60 years of self-rule on Tuesday next week, Azimio leader Raila Odinga is not amused that Kenyans continue reeling from the problems similar to those faced by founding fathers during the colonial period.
We live on debt, but we still live large. We drove ourselves into the trap of the IMF and the World Bank and their unusual conditionalities that are driving us back to the 1980s and 90s.
Odinga, who was speaking at the Catholic University while delivering a lecture themed "A Vision for the Next 60 Years and Beyond," faulted the Kenya Kwanza administration for failing to set up administrative policies to secure jobs for Kenyans.
Our children are struggling to get farm jobs in Israel, to be house helps in Saudi Arabia, and security personnel in Qatar. The nation is reeling under the heavy burden of corruption, officially sanctioned tribalism, heavy burden of taxation, and a harsh and heartless leadership.
Instead, Odinga says the Kenya Kwanza administration is searching for jobs abroad after making the country unbearable for the same citizens.
We are on the downward spiral, and a steady one at that. We are staring at a doomed future. We are uncertain and fearful of what tomorrow holds. We live one day at a time because the longer-term founding vision has been dropped.
The opposition chief recalled with nostalgia what he termed as the golden age for Kenya, where citizens were adamant about working overseas.
Once upon a time, Kenyans were too proud and so confident of their nation that they refused to seek jobs abroad. Today, our people are scrambling to leave the country.
According to Odinga, who insisted that the country is headed in the wrong direction, it is ironic for the government to talk big about securing farm and house jobs for Kenyans abroad when they were mandated to create better jobs for them.
And the president is looking for jobs for them there, to become ayahs there. Government officers themselves, including a whole president, openly say that they're trying to get jobs abroad for Kenyans.
The opposition leader went on to cite the second liberation for Kenya, where he accused the current regime of abating corruption and ethnicity, the vices he said forefathers fought against.
Today, we are way off the original dream. The nation is reeling under the heavy burden of corruption, officially sanctioned tribalism, heavy burden of taxation, and a harsh and heartless leadership. We are not the confident nation we have been over the decades.
Odinga consequently exuded confidence that the country may return to the right path if the current leadership refocused on the founding vision of the country.
It is my position that if we return to the founding vision of this country, Kenya can emerge in its 80th or 120th anniversary as one of Africa's greatest democracies and a secure and flourishing homeland for her children.
Just recently, the Ministry of Labour announced plans by the government to send about 1,500 farm workers to Israel on a 230,000 shillings monthly pay. Philip Murutu, K24, Nairobi.